Why were Abbasid succession crises so difficult to understand? Imagine trying to follow a family feud that spans generations, with alliances shifting and loyalties changing all the time. That's what succession was like in the Abbasid Caliphate. The way they picked their leaders was not straightforward. Unlike modern systems where clear rules decide who takes over, Abbasid succession was messy and confusing. It involved many brothers, sons, and relatives fighting for power, often at the same time. Sometimes the next caliph was chosen based on family ties, but other times, military leaders or influential court families had a say. This made it hard to predict who would become the next ruler. When Caliph Harun al-Rashid died, he left behind a tricky situation. He had two sons, al-Amin and al-Mamun. He decided to split authority, giving al-Amin control over Baghdad and the west, and al-Mamun the east, especially Khurasan. But this plan created tension. Al-Amin wanted full control, and al-Mamun resisted. Their rivalry led to a civil war called the War of the Brothers. This war tore the empire apart and showed how fragile the succession process was. It was not just about family loyalty but also about power, influence, and military strength. Adding to the confusion were powerful court families and military leaders. The Barmakids, a wealthy and influential family, once helped the Caliphate but were later removed because the caliph feared they might manipulate succession. Military commanders and regional governors also acted independently. They often supported different claimants, which meant the empire was not united under a single ruler. This fragmentation made it even harder to understand who truly held power or who would be the next caliph. Religious and ethnic factors also played a part. The Abbasids came to power partly because they gained support from Shia Muslims who opposed the previous Umayyad dynasty. Some succession disputes were influenced by sectarian loyalties or regional identities, especially in Persia and Khurasan. These loyalties added more layers to the conflicts, making the succession process even more complicated. As time went on, the central authority of the Abbasid caliphs weakened. Local dynasties and military groups started acting more independently. The caliphs became more symbolic figures, while real power shifted to groups like the Buwids. This decentralization made succession disputes about more than just who would be caliph. It was also about control of regions and armies. So, understanding Abbasid succession crises is difficult because it was not a simple line of inheritance. It involved family rivalries, political factions, military power struggles, and regional loyalties. All these factors mixed together, creating a chaotic and often violent process. This complexity reflects the challenges of ruling a vast, diverse empire during medieval times. It's a story of shifting alliances, power plays, and the struggle to keep control over a sprawling civilization.